Alright everyone, hold on tight. The moon has been hit by something. Astronomers have just observed a spectacular explosion on our satellite, and it was no small bang. What exactly happened up there? Stay tuned to find out what cosmic projectile hit our moon.
And what this has to do with one of the strangest objects in the solar system. Things are about to get really exciting. A warm welcome, everyone.
Christmas is behind us, and some people tend to get themselves into a bit of a state on Christmas Eve.
This has already happened to the moon before. I apologize for this introduction.
Feel free to write me in the comments about how your Christmas was. How did you celebrate and where? I'm very curious about your traditions. And if you don't want to miss anything from the vastness of space between Christmas and New Year's, then subscribe to the channel right now. It's free, you'll never miss a video again, and you'll be helping me out a lot.
And if you've already subscribed, giving the video a thumbs up really helps. Maybe we'll hit 5,000 likes. Thanks everyone. So what exactly happened? Just a few days ago, something spectacular happened on the night side of the moon. Not to be confused with the far side of the moon, which is also called the dark side, though that's not a very accurate name since that side can also be illuminated by the sun. So the dark side remains reserved for the Empire. A sudden bright flash of light illuminated the surface of the moon, caused by a massive cosmic impact. The entire event was discovered by the Armagh Observatory and Planetarium in Northern Ireland.
And now comes the absolutely crazy part. A doctoral student named Andrew Marshall Lee watched the impact live on his screen. Imagine sitting in front of your monitor at night and seeing an object hit the moon in real time. Marshall Lee himself says that makes it extra special and saved me hours of editing the footage later. I think you could watch these things for many years and never see anything like this again. But that raises the not insignificant question of what on earth crashed into the moon? Maybe a refugee from the planet Melmac?
Call the police! Horrible! Horrible! Worse than Friday the 13th Part 2. Worse than Friday the 13th Part 3. Ouch! What's going on? Don't ask.
The culprit was probably no bigger than a golf ball. You heard right, a cosmic golf ball. Doesn't sound particularly impressive at first, does it? But here's the key point, speed is everything. The object was hurtling toward the moon's surface at an incredible 35 kilometers per second. At such speeds, the kinetic energy is immediately converted into heat and light at the moment of impact, creating the spectacular flash of light that was visible from Earth. Being hit by a golf ball traveling at 35 kilometers per second from space is something you definitely want to avoid. Andrew Marshall Lee explains it this way. We are also working on determining the exact size. Typically, however, these objects are no larger than 3 to 5 centimeters in diameter. The point is that these objects move very fast. The impact velocity provides the kinetic energy that is converted into heat and light. Capturing such events is extremely rare. The flashes of light are tiny and last only fractions of a second, and the moon's surface is vast. According to the Armagh Observatory, this is the first recorded lunar impact flash observed from the island of Ireland and only the second ever documented in the British Isles. Incidentally, the impact site is located about 2 degrees northeast of the Langrenus crater, but now it gets really exciting. The impact is most likely related to the Gemini meteor shower. The Geminids were in full swing. They took place from December 4th to 20th and reached their peak a few days ago. Maybe you saw them and spent a romantic shooting star date under the December sky. Now, one of the strangest chunks in our solar system comes into play, the asteroid 3200 Phaethon. Phaethon is truly a cosmic curiosity. Most meteor showers originate from comets, but the Geminids come from an asteroid, and not just any asteroid. Phaethon comes closer to the sun than any other known asteroid of its size. At its closest point to the sun, it is only 0.14 astronomical units away from our star. That is less than half the distance Mercury approaches the sun. The surface temperature reaches 750 degrees Celsius at perihelion.
You could bake the perfect crispy pizza in just a few seconds there. Pizza. These extreme characteristics have also earned Phaethon the nickname Rock Comet. Rock Comet. Why? Because it behaves like a comet even though it's an asteroid.
NASA's Stereospace probe observed in 2009 and 2012 how Phaethon suddenly became brighter and even developed a visible tail. What is happening? Scientists suspect that the intense heat of the sun is literally breaking up the surface of the asteroid, similar to how cracks form in a dried up lake bed. These fragments are then pushed away from the surface by the radiation pressure of the sun. And here's another surprise. Phaethon is blue while most asteroids are gray or reddish, but this one stands out with its blue color. This is extremely rare in the asteroid belt. In 2022, scientists were able to show that this blue color and comet-like Phaethon-like activity can be explained by the effects of intense solar heating at perihelion. The heat causes dark organic material, nanoiron, and pyroxene materials on the surface to sublimate. The material that Phaethon loses forms a debris trail along its orbit, and when Earth crosses this debris trail every December, we get to see the beautiful Geminids. However, some of these fragments miss Earth and hit the Moon instead, and since the Moon has no atmosphere to protect it, these particles strike the surface directly, producing spectacular flashes of light. Incidentally, Phaethon is classified as a potentially hazardous asteroid, not because it poses an immediate threat, but because it is large enough and its orbit comes close to Earth. The minimum orbital distance to Earth is only 0.019 astronomical units, or about 2.9 million kilometers. That sounds like a lot, but in cosmic terms, it's a stone's throw. The good news is that with over 30 years of observational data, we know its orbit very precisely and can predict close flybys for the next 400 years.
The next really close encounter with Earth won't be until December 14th, 2093. So until then, we really don't have to worry at all. But it's still exciting, because the Japanese space agency JAXA is planning a mission called Destiny Plus, which is scheduled to fly to Phaethon no earlier than 2028.
The probe will demonstrate advanced technologies for future asteroid and comet research and could finally reveal more about this mysterious celestial body. What I find so exciting about this story is that it shows us what kind of action is going on up there in near-Earth space. The Moon is constantly being bombarded with an average of about 180 objects hitting it each year, creating a visible flash. We rarely notice this because these events are so brief and require the right equipment and position.
Of course, I'll keep you updated on all further events on the Moon. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can hit 400,000, and also give a thumbs up to help us reach 5,000 likes.
And speaking of mysterious discoveries, stay tuned because I have something else incredible for you. My next video is about a huge anomaly that has scientists speechless. And do you know where it is? Right under the infamous Bermuda Triangle. What is hidden there in the depths? A geological formation or something else entirely? Click on the video in the top right corner and find out. It's really, really exciting. As always, there's another video about science and space at the bottom right. Otherwise, I'd say see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.